Welcome to today's video where I'm kicking off a series I actually didn't plan on doing, but I came across a lipstick that was expired yesterday and decided that I needed to do it. I'm going to start my declutter series, and I'm trying to remember that I want quality over quantity. So today we are going to go through my primers, concealers, foundations, and powders, and we're gonna declutter. Hi, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Heather Eaglin. I love all things makeup, especially colorful makeup and indie brands. If you love those things too, I really hope you will subscribe and click the little bell so you could be notified of all my future uploads. This series will have probably 4 or 5 videos in it. So I have 10 face powders. For the most part, I only use like 2 of them. I'm going to keep more than that because I do like some of these, but I don't like probably half of them. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Translucent Setting Powder, and I have it in the lightest shade. And this is the only powder I use under my eyes. It's really good at brightening. I would like to find a newer one that's brightening for my fair skin tone, but so far this is the only one I've ever found that's been light enough for me and that doesn't oxidize under the eyes. If you have any recommendations, leave them down below because I'd love to try something new. One I'm getting rid of, this is the CoverGirl Clean Professional Loose Powder. It's supposed to be translucent. It's the lightest shade, but it's actually too dark for under my eyes. I don't like this powder. It's very cakey and it doesn't look good. I bought it when I was out one day and I needed it, so I just ran in and bought the only loose powder they had. It was like Dollar General, and I hate it, so I'm getting rid of that one. This is the Bare Minerals Original Mineral Veil. This has like a really peachy undertone to it. I don't like this. I feel like it's cakey and it doesn't look good on my skin. I do have like more normal to dry skin. It just doesn't look good on me, and I don't think I've used it besides the one time. And then we have the Sephora Translucent Setting Powder. This is in the shade Universal. It's the lightest shade. Again, it's way too dark, and I don't think it looks good under the eye. It kind of accentuates the fine lines under my eyes. I went into Sephora and asked them what was their most recommended face powder, and of course they said Sephora, but I think they were just trying to push their products because I don't like this powder at all. Next we have the e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation. I have it in the shade 150 Fair. I used a pretty good lot of it, but I think the same with this. I just don't think powder foundations look good on me with my dry skin, and I didn't like this. It is a full coverage product, and if you like powder foundations, you might really like this one. It's just not for me. And then we have the Bobbi Brown Sheer Finish Pressed Powder in the shade Pale Yellow. I actually really like this product. I think it's really good at brightening under the eye. It's blurring and it's really lightweight. It's like finely milled, and I like this, so I definitely want to keep it. Then we have the Beauty Bakery Flowers Setting Powder, Better Not Bitter. And I have it in the shade Oat Translucent, and I don't mind this one. It's not the one I reach for the most, but I do reach for it sometimes, so I want to keep it in my collection. Then I have the Dior Powder No Powder. I have it in the shade 2N. I think this powder is really pretty. As you can see, I've hit pan on it. It's bad about getting hard pan in it though, and it's a very expensive powder. I don't remember right off the top of my head how much it costs. If I remember, I'll pop it up on the screen here. It's all right. I think it gives you like a healthy glow, but you can see it sitting on your skin. It's not one I reach for a lot. I bought it on recommendation from Samantha March, and it's just not my favorite, but I did pay a lot for it, and I do use it sometimes, so I want to keep it. I also have it in my summer shade, so it's a little dark for me right now. Then I have the Dominique Cosmetics Translucent Setting Powder. I think this is okay. It's finely milled. It's not one of the worst that I've tried, and I do want to keep it in my collection. It's just not one I reach for a lot. The two I use the most are these two. This is the Lunar Beauty Versal Setting Powder. I have it in the shade Translucent Pink. I bought this over the summer, and it's almost empty. I really love this. It's so blurring and looks beautiful on the skin. It's very lightweight, like finely milled, and I want to get it in the lightest shade that he has because the pink is actually too dark for under my eyes, and I would love to see if his lighter shade will work for that because this is the best setting powder I have ever tried. I really enjoy it. So as for face powders, we are keeping 6 and decluttering 4. So I have 8 face primers. And I really have some favorites here, but I have some that I really hate. So let's get into it. One of my favorites is this L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. I have it in the shade 902. I love this so much. It's almost empty, and I do plan on repurchasing it. It's freaking awesome. I like wearing it as a primer or mixing it into my foundation. I think it gives the most beautiful natural glow, and it's one of the best that I've tried. My other favorite is the Ciate London Watermelon Burst. I like a lot of their face primers actually, but I really love this. As you can see, it's almost empty. I got it in a BoxyCharm, and I'm so happy I did. And like I said, all of their hydrating face primers that I've tried, I think have been really great. My other favorite is the e.l.f. Niacinamide Power Grip. This is freaking awesome too. I like mixing this one with one of these two, and it gives your foundation that grip, but I still have the glow, and I just love the look of that. Highly recommend these 3. They're awesome. This one is new to me. I've only used it one time, but the one time that I did use it, I really loved it. This is the Ciate London Vitamin Boost Plumping Primer. It looks very luminous under foundation. It makes your skin look really healthy and glowy. And it's green. I feel like it helps reduce redness too. I really love this. It's a great one so far. But I'll have to give you more thoughts on that later after I've gotten more use out of it. Next, let's talk about this. This is Glam Care Mud Mask. It's supposed to be blurring, correcting, anti-aging, hydrating, and unifying. I don't like this at all. I don't think it does any of those things. It pilled up under my foundation, and it just might not work with my skin type, or it just might be a bad product. I don't know, but I don't like it. Then we have the Dr. Brandt Backlight Primer Base. This is the Prime Blur and Glow Primer. I don't think this is anything special. I got this in a BoxyCharm, and I don't ever use it. It's almost full. I think I've only used it twice, and it's still a new product to me, so I'm gonna declutter this one. And then we have the By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Primer. I don't like this at all. I don't think it's a good product. I got this in a BoxyCharm also. I heard By Terry is supposed to be a really good brand, but it's not. This product is not one that I'm vibing with. And then we have the Believe Beauty Pretty and Primed Hydrating Primer. I actually really like this. I think it's a good primer. It makes your foundation look really pretty and glowy, and it's at the drugstore. I think I paid like $6 for this. It's a great product, and I recommend it. But I will also say that I don't think it like helps with the longevity of makeup. It just makes your foundation look more natural and glowy. The only one of these of my favorites that actually help with the longevity is the e.l.f. But I love these products. So we are keeping 5 face primers and decluttering 3. So anyways, I have 10 foundations here. Let's start with this one. This is the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. I have it in the shade 70, I think. Yes, 70 Fair Neutral. This is actually empty, so I need to go ahead and throw it in my empties. I love this so much. It's one of my top recommendations. I think this is such a great foundation. It's a medium to full coverage. It's not completely full coverage, it's close, but you can build it up and it looks so radiant and beautiful on the skin. I just think this is such a great foundation, and I have every intention of repurchasing this. Next, let's talk about this one. This is the Misha BB Cream. I have it in shade number 21. It has SPF of 42 in it. This is such a beautiful foundation. The shade range on it sucks so bad. If you're lucky enough to find your shade, I highly recommend it. This shade is not a good shade match for me. It's actually very cool toned, so I'm gonna get rid of it. And I have somebody in my life that I think might be able to wear this, but such a beautiful product, and it's very affordable. You can find it on Amazon, but I got mine at TJ Maxx. Next, the same with this one. Terrible shade range, but this is such a great product. If you can find your shade, you won't be mad. It stinks, I'm not gonna lie, but the smell kind of goes away really fast. It just smells like skincare chemicals, and I don't love that, but this is the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. It has hyaluronic acid and squalene in it. This has such a full coverage, but it looks so beautiful and hydrating on the face. I got this at Five Below for $5, which is incredible. The shade range, like I said, really sucks, but if you can find your shade, you're missing out on this one. Let's talk about these. These are the Fenty Beauty Ease Drops. I have it in my summer shade, well, my self-tan shade, and that's shade 12, and then I have it in 6. 6 is almost empty. This is one of the best foundations that I've ever tried in my life. It is a medium coverage. This is the only foundation that I could find that did not rub off underneath my mask during COVID. I love this so much. It's so lightweight and it looks like skin. It's a blurring skin tint, but it's just absolutely beautiful. I would love to repurchase shade 6, but this is such a good one. And if you've been sleeping on this product, you should totally try it out. So this is the NARS Longwear Natural Radiant Foundation. I have it in the shade Vienna, and I don't like this at all. I actually was trying to buy the one that Allie Glines really loves. If I can remember, I'll pop it up on the screen, but I bought the wrong one, and I just don't like this. I think it looks very dry on my skin and cakey, and it's not radiant like it says it is. So it's just not my vibe, and I'm gonna declutter this one. So the last 4 are probably gonna be keeps. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. I have it in the shade 130N, and I actually need to try this again. I've only tried it maybe once or twice. I don't really remember how I felt about it. I have a bad habit of finding one that I love and then forgetting everything else in my collection. So this might end up getting decluttered, but for now I'm going to keep it so I can gather my thoughts on it. And then we have the REM Beauty Foundation. I don't know the full length name of this, but I'm pretty sure this is the only foundation she has in the line. And the first time I used this, I hated it so bad. I have it in the shade Fair 10P, but I love this now. It just looks better with a more hydrating primer like these ones or the Lumi Glotion than it does with the e.l.f. Power Grip. It looked cakey when I wore it like that, but now that I wear it with more hydrating bases, it just looks so beautiful and natural. It's full coverage. I've had a really great time with this one. As you can see, this is my wrong shade. When I accidentally get a wrong shade that's like too dark or something, because I do it all the freaking time, it's so annoying. I just like to use these LA Girl mixing things, and you can change the shade a little bit, but it doesn't mess with the formula. These are really good and they're really affordable. You can find LA Girl, I know, at CVS. I'm not sure where else, but I highly recommend them. This is the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra Wear. This is my favorite foundation. It has an SPF of 25 in it. It's like a radiant one, and it looks so beautiful on the skin. It's so expensive, but I swear it's worth every cent. I love this so much. Absolutely love it. This is one from Lancome that Ulta had on sale. I actually ran out of this, and I got it at Ross. I only pay like $9 for it, which is crazy. I'm pretty sure it's over $60. And Ulta was having their 21 Days of Beauty, and this one was half off. And I bought this praying that it would be similar to this one, and it's not. It is the Lancome Renagerie Lift Makeup. I probably just butchered the hell out of that name. But it has SPF of 27, up to 12 hours of hydration and radiance. It's a pretty one too, but I think out of the two, I like this one a lot more. But I'm keeping it. So I started with 10, and now I have 7. So I decluttered 3. Here we have the Juvia's Place Eye Prep Eye Prime Eye Primer. I have it in the shade 1. I think this is an excellent product. Lately, I've just been using concealer to prep, but this is almost out. I'm going to go ahead and use it up. But right now, I'm not that big on eyeshadow primers. Like I said, I just use concealers. But if you're in the market for one, this is a great one, and they have it in a light shade, a medium shade, and a dark shade. Highly recommend. And I think it's like $4. Can't beat that. Then we have the NYX Color Correcting Concealer. This is a greasy mess. I don't recommend this. It just like slides around. It don't really work or anything. I had one before this and I went through it, but it's one of those things where like you think something's good until you know better. So now I know better, and I'm going to declutter that. Then we have the Sigma Spectrum Color Correcting Duo. I have it in the shade light to medium. People rave about this product, but I think it's a greasy, slippery slope. It doesn't do a very good job, and it's so emollient that it like kind of slides around and stuff. I don't know. I don't recommend it. I'm going to use it up because I think I paid like $30 for this, and I don't want to waste my money. I love Sigma as a brand, but I just don't think this product was really worth it. Here we have another Sigma product. This is the eyeshadow base primer. I have it in the shade Ignite, which is their lightest shade. I will say this is a very good product, but it's too dark for my under eyes. You can see it's even too dark for my hand, and I'm going to declutter it because of that. It's a brand new product, and someone should be able to get some use out of it instead of it just sitting in my drawer and dying. This is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Eye Primer. I bought this on recommendation from Batty Bean, and I think it's a really good product. It's great at keeping the longevity of your eyeshadow. The only thing I don't like about it is I have a lot of discoloration on my eyelid, and I like to cancel out those colors before applying eyeshadow. But I still want to keep it around and try to get some use out of it because, like I said, it is a really good product. This is actually a concealer, but I just use it as a spot concealer. This is the REM Beauty. It's got some long, crazy name concealer. It's a pot concealer. It is full coverage, but it is cakey. It looks terrible under my eyes. So I don't recommend it for that. But if you have any like spots that need covering or blemishes, this is a great product for that. Plus it comes with a cute little spoon. How can you say no? Now let's talk about concealers. I typically only use 2 of them, but I do have 8 of them. First, let's talk about the Tarte Shape Tape. I have this one in the shade 16N Fair Neutral. I like this product. I know a lot of people don't, but for me, it's one of the only ones that's like completely full coverage, or at least it used to be. And as long as I didn't use a ton of product, I felt like it worked really good for me. So I didn't mind it. I just was careful about how much I used. But if you're looking for a full coverage concealer, this is definitely one of the best. But I have newer recommendations now. This is almost empty though, so I'm gonna toss that one. Now let's talk about the KVD Good Apple Concealer. I have it in the shade Light 114. This is actually too dark for me, and I know somebody that I think might be able to get some use out of this, so I'm going to declutter it. I will say it's about a medium coverage. Because of that, it's not my favorite concealer because I need, like I said, something very full coverage, but I think someone might really love this product. Next, let's talk about the other one. This is in shade 22N. It's actually the color of like my face, and I use this sometimes to spot correct like marks on my skin, and if I'm not in the mood for this one, I will usually use this one. So because of that, I'm going to keep it. Like I said, it covers like everything. Then we have the Milk Makeup Future Fluid Concealer. I have it in the shade 3N. And I'm going to be honest, I hate this concealer. Everyone raved about this and recommended it, and I wanted to try it. I don't like this at all. It's like a light to medium coverage. It's very emollient. The only reason I want to keep it is because when I'm wanting to go out and I want to like spot conceal or cover up my dark circles under my eyes, I do use it then, but that's the only time that I ever use it. So like I said, I'm going to keep it in my collection for now, but I really love the doe foot on this. If you like a more light coverage concealer, you may love it, but it's not my cup of tea. Next, let's talk about the Dominique Cosmetics Concealer. I have it in the shade Cafe Con Leche, and the applicator is like the little metal thing. It's supposed to be like depuffing and stuff. This is a medium coverage concealer. I just don't gravitate towards this one, so I think I'm going to go ahead and let it go. If you like a lighter or medium coverage, you might really like this. You have to kind of get into it a lot to try to get product out. It's only about half full, so I think, like I said, I'm just going to let it go. This one is new to me. This is the Lancome Tint It All Over Concealer. I haven't gotten a ton of use out of this yet. I have in the shade 90, so I'm going to keep it in my collection and try to gather my thoughts on this product. I don't think it's full coverage. If I'm remembering correctly, I'm pretty sure it's medium, but I'm not really 100% sure, so because of that, I don't want to get rid of it. These two are my absolute favorites. This is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer. I have it in the shade 1.3G Marshmallow. I love this. This is full coverage. It's not cakey. It sets down. It doesn't crease. Such a great one. I love this so much that this is my second one, and it's about half full. It's such a great concealer. One of the best. For me, I've never found a drugstore concealer that was full coverage that looked good under the eye. The e.l.f. one is close, like the one with the white cap. The black cap one looks terrible under the eyes. It dries out and shrivels up, but I've never found one that's full coverage. And when it comes to concealing my dark circles, I don't want to skimp on that kind of a product because I need it. So I think this is worth every cent. I know it's like around $20. Such a great one though. Such a great one. This one came in BoxyCharm, and I'm shocked at how much I like it. This is the One Size Turn Up the Base Concealer. I have it in the shade Fair 3. This is full coverage. I think it looks great under my eyes. It's the perfect color for my skin tone. I just think this is such a great product, and I'm so happy that I found it. So for concealers and stuff, I started out with 14. I'm decluttering 5, and that leaves me with 9. I feel like I'm really happy with that. Like I said, I didn't plan on doing this video, but then I came across expired lipsticks and got grossed out, and I have to try to remember that I want good quality products, not quantity. I'm going to go into depth more about it later on in a different video, but I have been broke most of my life, and I've actually been homeless like 3 times, and I have a really hard time letting go of stuff, even though I don't like it. And I also have a really hard time using up a product. It's like I try to save everything in case I can't get it again. And I don't know why I'm still like that, because it's not an issue now, but I just have the hardest time letting go of stuff. And I'm hoping, you know, as time passes that maybe that feeling will fade. But it is what it is. I'm proud of myself for doing this because I said I wasn't going to. But I love declutters, and I think it might be a good way to start out the year like feeling fresh and renew, and knowing that all the products that are left in my collection actually are things that I really love. But if you guys made it all the way to the end, I thank you so much. If you haven't done so yet, you're going to want to subscribe, and don't forget to turn on your notifications so you don't miss my next videos. Next, I think I'm going to do blush and bronzer, but we will see. But thank you again so much, and until next time, bye.